What is going on here? We have a Shrike Talon leading a bunch of flyboys, but he isn't even a leader. And what is this? There's a Great Bray Shaman from the Beasts of Chaos? What is this goat guy doing with all those Chaos Spawn and Warhounds? Well, this game of Warcry doesn't even stick close to the rules. Who does this Dice Chatter guy think he is?
Age of Sigmar Warcry. It's a chaotic beast showdown.
So today in this battle report, we're going to do things a little differently. I wanted to try out all of these chaotic beasts, and I thought the best way to do this would be to have them battle each other. Pretty much all the rules will be the same for this battle, but both of the leaders for these warbands will have only access to the abilities listed on their fighter card and the universal abilities. So the Shrike Talon will miss out on some of those other Corvus Cabal abilities. Oh, and all the beasts in each army will be given access to the universal abilities as well, because I want this game to be wild. With this being said, let us introduce the armies and flip some cards to see what is in store for this combat. For the Flyboys and the Hammer, we have the 3 Raptorixes. In the Shield, we have a couple Furies, and the pretend leader, the Shrike Talon. And in the Dagger, we have a carbon copy of the Hammer Squad, just a slight color change. For the Beasts of Chaos, in the Hammer, we have 3 of the Chaos Warhounds. For the Shield, we have the Great Bray Shaman and his trusty Chaos Spawn. And to round out the Dagger, we have the final 3 Ravenous Puppies. Now over to card flipping. For the terrain, we flip over a relatively open battlefield today. The center of the board contains some high ground, and the rest of the board is scattered with terrain. Here it is, all set up on the table. Onto the deployment card, and we get Dance of Death. It looks like both sides will set up pretty evenly. Both sides will roll off, the yellow die being the Shrike Talon's crew and red being the Beastmen Shamans, and it looks like the Shaman will choose the blue deployment. Next is the victory card, and today we will try and seize victory. First we roll off, victory goes to the Beastmen, and they decide to be the defender. They will then place 3 objectives in the battlefield, here, here, and here. Whoever controls the most objectives at the end of the 4th battle round wins. On a tie, the attacker wins. And finally we flip over the twist card and we get Winds of Fate. Looks like we are rolling 7 initiative dice instead of 6. Now that should actually be a fun twist. Now we move on to setting up the battle for these 2 warbands. Are you all ready for some beast on beast action? Wait, whoa. Let me rephrase that question. Nah, the question stands. I'm ready for some beast action. So we begin initiative, turn 1. For the Shrike Talon squad, with 7 dice, they roll up a double, triple, and a couple singles. For the Beastmen, they copy the opposing warband. This leads to a roll-off and the initiative goes to the Flyboys. Then they decide to turn a single into a double, and the Shaman and his crew will copy them once again. So we begin the game with the Shrike Talon leader. He will take a double move and travel up the steps to get to the high ground, so that next turn he can slam down onto the objective and the Shaman. Moving on to the Shaman, he will take a step back and make some room. Now this is when yours truly forgot about this Devolve ability. So yeah, this kinda ruins the Shrike Talon's plans. The Shaman is able to force the Birdman down to his level with this ability. He will then roll for impact damage, and at least he avoids that. Then the Shaman will slam with his staff, hitting on 4s, and pushes through 6 damage. I should think before I activate next time. Now realizing that objective will be about impossible to take now, a Raptorix will use the rush ability to run forward to the far objective and end its activation. The Brown Chaos Spawn will now seize the opportunity to take out the Shrike Talon. It will use the Writhing Tentacles ability for its first action, giving it 6 extra dice. Hitting on 4s, the Spawn deals out exactly 14 damage, which is enough to take out the guy on stilts. And the Chaos Spawn will sit still and keep holding the objective. Next, a Fury will double move and fly over the far objective to hold it for their warband. Now the other Chaos Spawn will go. For its first action, it will move towards the nearby Raptorix and attack in using the Onslaught ability on top of the attack. Lashing in on 4s, the Raptorix takes 6 total damage. On to the other Fury, and it will copy its brethren and move towards the same objective, trying to hold down the fort. Then it will attempt to damage the hulking spawn nearby. Using the Onslaught ability and hitting on 5s, the Fury does a surprising 5 damage. A Warhound is next, and will charge forward at one of the Furies and attack in. Hitting on 4s, the doggy pushes through 4 damage, bringing the Fury down to half health. To move things along, both of the Raptorixes will double move forward to better hold the far objective, while the 2 pups will head towards the other side of the battlefield to hold off some crazy chickens who will be entering in the next reserves phase. So this will end the first battle round. Some bad stuff happened to the Shrike Talon, and I learned that the Shaman's Devolve ability is amazing for an objective holding game. But as of now, the Flyboys hold 2 of the 3 objectives. Can they hold them until round 4? Let's see what other shenanigans happen in the next round. We now move on to Battle Round 2. As always, we start with the initiative. The Flying Beasts will roll first. They end up getting a triple, double, and a pair of singles. Oh, and guess what? The Shaman Squad ends up rolling the same thing. So once again, we go to a roll-off, where this time the Beast Men have the initiative. With this, they will make another double, and the Flyers will do the same. Before we start the bloodbath, some reinforcements will pop in first. The Warhounds show up right near the objectives, while the Raptorixes are way on the other side of the board. This may be difficult for them. To start off, the Purple Spawn will use the Tentacle ability and attack into the chicken with 9 attacks. Hitting on 4s, it deals enough damage to take the bird down. The next set of attacks will be heading into the Fury. These hit on 3s, and the Spawn takes down another fighter. Now we will move on to the Fury that is still living. It will use the Onslaught ability and attack into the Warhound in front of it. Hitting on 4s, the Hound takes 6 damage. Onto a Warhound now, who will move up to a blue chicken and use its second action to attack in. Hitting on 5s, and bites down way harder than expected and deals 6 damage. Next is an orange chicken, who will move up slightly and use the Crazed Flock ability. Since it has 2 pals next to it, the birds gain 2 more strength and attacks. So now swinging in 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, it deals a whole lot of damage, taking down the dog. After seeing what happened on the other side of the table, another hound will move up and attack into the already damaged chicken. Using the Onslaught ability, the pup will get an extra attack. Hitting on 5s, it swings in but misses on everything. Then we'll hop over to the other side of the battlefield again, where an orange chicken will attack the remaining pup. Hitting on 3s, it deals out 4 damage. Once again, we move over to another Chaos Hound, who will move up to the blue Raptorix and attack in. Hitting on 5s, the dog bites down for a point of damage. Next is the blue Raptorix, who is in the 1-inch range of the Hound. It will use the Crazed Flock ability and attack in twice. Now 6 total attacks, hitting on 3s, the puppy is taken down. We continue the dog and chicken showdown, where a Chaos Hound will use the Onslaught ability and attack in. Hitting on 5s, the Hound manages 8 points of damage. Not bad. A blue bird will then peck into a puppy. On 3s, the chaotic bird will do 6 damage, which is not enough to take out the Hound. Speaking of hounds, another pup will activate and attack twice into the lone Fury. Hitting on 4s, it deals enough damage to take down the red imp. With the final activation for the Flyers, an orange Raptorix will attack into the nearby Hound, hoping to take it down. The bird needs to do 4 damage, and unfortunately only deals out 2. Now the Great Bray Shaman will go. The goat will move up and get into line of sight to a Raptorix and fire with his ranged weapon. Hitting on 5s, he lands a critical, which deals out 6 damage. And finally, the brownish Chaos Spawn will sit still and continue to hold the objective. This ends Battle Round 2. The Shaman and his forces have been cleaning up here. The bird folk need a miracle to come back at this point. With only 5 models left, it may be difficult to take back some of these objectives. Now we move on to Battle Round 3. As always, we roll for initiative. The Raptorixes roll up a quad and a few singles. The Shaman and his beast crew get a triple, double, and 2 singles. The Raptorixes decide to give themselves a double 5, and the beasts go for a second triple. We start the round with an orange Raptorix, who will attack the Hound, hoping to finish it off by using the Rampage ability. Hitting on 3s, the first set of attacks doesn't do it, or the second, but the final set of attacks does the trick. Next we move on to the Great Bay Shaman, who will use the Devolve ability to force the blue chicken into base contact with the spawn, and then make a ranged attack. Hitting on 5s, the Shaman deals 3 damage, but not enough to take down the bird. The other blue Raptorix will activate next and attack into the heavily damaged Hound. On 3s, it misses horribly for the first action and slams in on the second, destroying the dog. Next, the purple spawn will attack into the damaged Raptorix. Hitting on 4s, the spawn takes out my boy Blue. Then he will move up and take control of the objective. As of now, the Beasts of Chaos control all 3 objectives. Next is an orange chicken. Now I'm getting hungry. Anyways, this bird will double move as far as it can to get to the far objective. Sadly, it is out of range though, so it is not in control of it. Next, the Hound in front of the blue Raptorix will go and attack in. Hitting on 5s, it deals out enough damage to take out the already hurt bird. The final activation for the Flyboys is the 3rd orange Raptorix. It is having a hard time deciding what to do, but it will go for the Hail Mary play and move up to the Chaos spawn, use the double onslaught ability, and attack in. And it deals out 7 damage. Then the Chaos spawn will retaliate back. It will use the 666 for the Tentacle ability and swing in with 10 attacks. Hitting on 4s, and this deals out enough damage to take out the Raptorix. And for the final activation, the Warhound will just pass his turn. This ends the 3rd round. The flock of birds are down to 2 models to the Beastmen 5. It is practically impossible for them to pull out the victory. They will forfeit this match, granting the win for the Shaman squad. This was one crazy battle. It was fun to change up the rules and do a special game of Warcry. The game was a little one-sided, mainly because I underestimated the amazing Devolve ability the Great Bay Shaman had, but it was an intense game and I enjoyed using all the Chaotic Beast abilities when you usually don't use them much in a standard game of Warcry. I hope you all enjoyed this unusual game. As always, there will be more Warcry shenanigans in the future. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, happy gaming.